Please have a seat.
Hello, thanks.
How you doing?
Shake your hand again. Thanks for having me.
Should we do a little TikTok? No, okay, maybe not. That was like Seoul 2021. Wang, I mean, we've met you before, very in a different iteration, but you're now at TikTok. For the benefit of people here, tell us who are you? What do you do for TikTok? Tell us about your job.
Hi everyone, my name is Wang. I look after creator solutions for APAC. Essentially, we are part of a bigger organization called TikTok Creator Marketing Solutions. And the simplest way to kind of put it is my day-to-day is all about connecting brand partners, advertisers, agencies to the best, most relevant creators for branded content collaborations. Essentially, you saw the earlier session where Chris talked about shoppertainment, the creativity and the authenticity of the creators on the platform. And what's interesting here is basically take that voice and kind of match it with whatever an advertiser wants to do. You have an entire new wave of storytelling, right? So that's essentially what I do. We have, in a sense, put the fun back into advertising once more. And that's kind of what I'm proud to call my day job, I guess.
You mean fun left advertising? I don't believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna drill down into that and how you work with creators and brands and stuff. But before that, and I love doing this when we have people from TikTok on stage. Give us some of those wow numbers. Where's I know that you talk about things like creation, or you create recreations, and you have huge numbers. Can you give us any of the numbers you're allowed to share?
Yeah, I'll give you two of my favorite numbers to kind of set the context for today as well. So we've got over 1 billion users globally on TikTok, and we hit this number and this mark in around September of last year. What's astounding about this number that it obviously continues to grow. But if we look into the lens of the creator, within our TikTok Creator Marketplace, which is our official platform for brands and creators to collaborate on, we've got more than 800,000 creators globally who have been onboarded onto the platform. And essentially, with some basic criteria set, they are effectively onboarded to be able to receive and look at monetization opportunities across the globe, right? And to me, that's astounding. And I think generally because overall, instead of just looking for the growth of the platform in terms of our users, we have also seen such an intense growth from the view and the lens of the creator. And that's really why we're all sitting here today talking about the world of the creator economy.
I mean, some of the metrics you use. I mean, there's number of views, subscribers, but you do use, is it creation, like the number of creations?
Yeah, so we do talk about the number of videos created globally, and we're talking about billions and billions of views globally, or videos getting created on a daily basis, right? But all of these numbers are essentially estimations. So I would say that creations and video creations are what we tend to look at. But at the same time, we're also looking at a lot of other different metrics as well, and focusing a lot on things like attention metrics, how much somebody actually watches a video. And we're talking about an average view on TikTok, especially if it's a video that was created by a creator, gets that much more engagements. And we estimated around 2 times the engagement that any random video that is created by a brand. Right? If a creator does it for you, we do see that additional incremental number itself.
Fantastic. So back to the conversation today, and that's around creators and on the platform. We do have a number of different stakeholders in the room. We've got platforms, we've got creators, we've got brands, we've got fans. What is your current value proposition to those? Let's say the 3: the users, the creators, and the brands.
Well, I love this question, so thanks a lot for this. There's a few facets to this, and I want to talk about this from the viewpoint of our mission. So our mission is to inspire creativity and to bring joy to our users. And my KPI today is to mention that at least 3 times. So that's the first time, okay? So you can keep count. And this whole sense of inspiring creativity, it permeates in the way that the creators make content on TikTok. And this whole new wave of storytelling, which I talked about, is essentially what makes our platform special. And within TikTok itself, and I spoke about this community of 1 billion users and more, they've come into the platform from all aspects of life, right? They come from different walks of life, different viewpoints, different perspectives. And essentially when they come onto the platform, because TikTok is a place where they can continue to be as authentically real as possible, they've come in with this whole way of feeling safe to tell their story, right? And when they continue to tell the story in a way that brands take notice, this has culminated in a way of producing content that is a little bit different. Now, when we take this and we marry this with the whole idea of branded content collaborations, what has been interesting about this is that this has opened up a whole new world, right? The sort of communications and content that you see within TikTok has just completely changed, right? It's very participative. It involves a lot of very authentic storytelling that brands are beginning to trust the creators to do what they do best. And at TikTok, we have 3 common beliefs, right? So the first one is really TikTok is that window to the world to discover content, to discover communities, to discover anything, right? When you turn on the app, when you launch it, what you will see today is, potentially different than what everybody else would see because the For You feed is made for you. Now, the second part of it is TikTok has made a creator out of you and me. And as much as I say that I work for TikTok, I cannot say that I make very good TikToks, but the app has definitely helped me in some way. So it is that canvas for creation that allows anyone to become a creator. And the third belief here is the whole context of TikTok being that culture bridge to be able to connect communities and people who are alike, new communities that you've never been aware of. And essentially, these 3 things, if you put them into a melting pot of what TikTok truly stands for, this has resulted in what I was talking about earlier. Branded content collaborations that just kicks differently, that just pops differently. And because of this, essentially, that's why creators tend to love the platform in a way because they are able to keep their storytelling to what's authentically theirs. And brands have taken notice, right? And essentially, they will allow the creator to lead that entire content creation process and to keep it within the authenticity of the creator itself. And that, to me, is really the reason why that's our unique proposition. And in a sense, why creators or even brands tend to flock over to the platform.
You do know, I mean, you talk about your TikTok. I have, at last count, 540 subscribers.
That's about 40 more than me, but...
That was a challenge by the weekend. So we talk about, you say your role is around creators and brands and what have you, and a lot of conversations about that today. How is TikTok helping creators and brands come together?
Yeah, I think there's a few different lenses to this, and thank you, Chris, earlier for kind of talking about Shoppertainment and also Plantina, one of our wonderful case studies. So Plantina itself, I just wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit more, right? It's essentially a buy now, pay later fintech company. And when they worked on a platform that I mentioned, which is TikTok Creator Marketplace, they essentially found creators to be part of their collaboration and what they needed for their campaign. And the numbers were astounding. And I'm not here to do a sales pitch, but when you hear these numbers, I think it speaks for itself. More than 12,000 conversions working with creators, that's first. An average price of 74 cents per cost per acquisition. I mean, where do you hear these sort of numbers, right? I think it's the sheer volume of creators that they are able to reach out to via TikTok Creator Marketplace that allowed them to actually find the creators that are most relevant for their mission. And essentially, I will talk about our marketplace a bit more. So it's our official brand and creator collaborative platform. Essentially, as a creator, you can go into the platform and get onboarded with some basic minimum criteria set. And you'll be able to be open to brand deal collaborations, etc. And the online suite of tools that are available to you makes it easy for you to kind of plan out or design or kind of work out your campaigns with the clients who are able to communicate and chat with you on the platform itself. That's the first thing. As a brand or as an agency or as a company that requires to look for creators, you can go into TikTok Creator Marketplace and essentially find, discover, and I guess choose the right creators for your purpose. And this essentially is a free-to-use tool. You just need to get the right access. If you have problems getting it, you can reach out to me and you can find me on LinkedIn. But essentially, it's just there to bring out remove the complexity behind creator marketing. And I think generally, the way that we have positioned this platform, it is simple to use and it's simple for you to reach out to as many creators as you need to for whatever purpose that you want to have. Now, across our creator programs as well, if you are a brand that requires some support, you can also work with TikTok or one of our partners, and we got quite a few partners in the house today. I think Narrators and Laurent will be talking about his business as well. So through our partners, essentially, they would be able to help you get onto the platform and connect with creators as per what you need. So these are the very same ways, and you just remove the entire complexity behind working with creators, and we just want every brand and every creator to be matched in the best possible way. So essentially, that's what we do, and that's how we position our platforms so that it can help all of your requirements generally.
So it's matchmaking.
Yes.
We've talked quite a bit about matchmaking through the day. How is quality controlled? If I'm a creator with 1 million subscribers, and I mean, what does the process look like?
Got it. So I think generally when it comes to matchmaking the right creators to a particular brand, the first port of call is obviously our best practice principles, planning principles, our guidance around the selection of a creator. Brand safety or those that are branded content friendly creators. We provide as much education and guidance as we can through our on-platform capabilities. At the same time, we have resources for creators to sort of refer to make sure that they are making content that is safe for consumption, right? And we will guide them along the way. Through our partners or through us, generally we will guide them on the right selection, to make sure that the recommendations are according to your brand safety guidelines or according to what your requirements are. And generally, how we work with the creators itself is to provide them basic principles of how to create in line with the trust that we need to give to the creators to create and do what they do best to engage their audience, but give them the right guardrails to stay within the right, right side of the fence.
So looking forward, I mean, I think it's awesome what you're doing now and offering this opportunity. And obviously, you're cutting out a lot of the middle people. But if I was a young creator, I mean, what an opportunity. Let's talk about the future. What's exciting I mean, if now's exciting, what's really exciting looking into 2023?
So this is a question that I get asked quite a fair bit, and fortunately for me today, and again I want to say thank you to Chris for the earlier session because he spoke about shoppertainment. In TikTok, we believe in this whole idea of the convergence of commerce and basically entertainment, right? But the way we look at it essentially is capturing that set of eyeballs while they're doing the things that they love. So if somebody is on TikTok, watching TikTok, what better way to kind of engage with them to give them something that's relevant for them to potentially buy? So I think we are just at the starting point of what shoppertainment can bring to the table, and seeing how the industry has reacted, and we are in this space where shopping days are a monthly occurrence, right? 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. It's become such a norm to wait out for your shopping days and just go crazy on that day. Now, imagine a scenario where you are on TikTok and you are engaging with the content that you're watching. You see creators that you absolutely love, and now they are also potentially selling something back to you. Isn't that the kind of convergence that we all love, right? And we all know the strength of peer-to-peer marketing, right? And generally, if somebody recommends something to us, the likelihood of us buying is just that much higher. So I'm very excited about this space of shoppertainment, not just for this year where we've seen a growth of it, but I'm very excited about where this will go in next year. And generally put, I think we will see a lot more platforms, TikTok and others, kind of playing around this space, keeping people engaged through the content that they do, but at the same time giving an opportunity to feed that shopping impulse, which is essentially what shoppertainment is all about.
Yeah, no, look, it's interesting where you think that, you know, for an event producer like myself, we can start producing content in that space where, for sponsors, their product is just one click away. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I know that hasn't quite taken off yet, but we've certainly been looking at that.
Yeah, and the most interesting thing behind this is the fact that when's the last time that you went on to a platform like TikTok and you saw something and you just went out there to buy it? So there's this whole phenomenon, and I'll be absolutely killed by my colleagues in the floor if I don't talk about it. TikTok made me buy it. Essentially, we were talking about 17 to 18 billion hashtag mentions of this hashtag. And I'm guilty of this, right? Over the last 6 months, I've lost count where I saw something on TikTok and I was like, hey, that's a great life hack. And I went out there to buy it. Just that the difference right now is I can actually do it immediately, right? So I'm guilty. I'm an addict of buying things that I absolutely don't need. But I think a lot of us here are as well, right?
I have to remember that when I need to sell stuff.
Yes.
Still, hello.
Well, I think...
No, stay, stay. Oh.
It might be shopping.
It's our new youngest creator in the room. You've been beaten. Give us a prediction. So you know, you were talking about what's exciting. What can you see coming down the road for the whole creator economy? Not just maybe it could be a TikTok thing, the whole thing. What do you think is big coming over the road?
I think there's. I'll one up you. I'll talk about two things. So the first one is really around this whole idea of creators doing so many things and diversifying the kind of content types that they do. Now, being a creator is, and I'm not a creator, I cannot say that I see it as much as some of you in the audience, but they just have so many things to do, right? They have to make short form video, they have to create shopping videos, they have to get on the live stream. And live stream, in my view, is already here. Obviously, it's been around for quite some time. But I guess on TikTok, we've seen a whole new dimension of it, right? And essentially, live stream will continue to be a big play within the space of content creation. And I foresee that the types of live streams will just explode next year. And we're not just talking about shopping. Shopping is so important. But at the same time, we will get creators finding their own niche, their own pillars, and really owning their audience within a space of live streaming that is theirs. And we're not talking about gaming. Gaming has been around for ages. But there's just so many different things that creators are getting more comfortable in doing on a live stream. And at the same time, because of 5G, they can do this anywhere, right? The whole context of being on TikTok is being authentic. And it doesn't need to be a perfect live stream, right? So you can do it anywhere. And essentially, that's what I see as the first thing that will really happen. And the second thing that is really interesting to me as well is this whole space of payment. Diversifying content also means diversifying of ways of accepting payment. One of the biggest challenges in the industry is for content creators to get paid on time, right? To get paid quickly and to get paid cross-border. So this is an area that we have seen a whole emergence of so many different startups coming into this space to try to solve this area of payment. But I think what's interesting around this space is creators will adopt more technology, and we know for a fact they are very open to adopting technologies very quickly. Finding more ways of receiving payment will only make it that much easier for them to get payment. So I think this is one area that we will see an emergence, more ways of actually getting paid, or more ways of me having 5 different capabilities or wallets to just receive payment. So I see that as a big trend. May not be totally taking over the world next year, but I would say if it's not next year, it's probably next one.
Okay, so a lot of young creators, clearly extremely young creators in the room, or new creators in the room. Kind of one question in 2 parts, but if I was going to start a TikTok channel today, what advice would you give me? Part 1. Part 2 is why, and this kind of can lead into you've only said it once so far, why would I want to choose TikTok over the other platforms?
Well, thanks for reminding me on my KPI. But to advise a young creator like yourself, I would say find a niche. Oh, no, there's a bit of
funny.
Chuckles there, but yeah, don't be rude. So I think the point here is really to find a niche that you can truly call yourself, right? What are you truly best at, known for, right? Amongst your friends, amongst your community, amongst your neighbors, what are you truly known for? And is that a space that you can have so much content that is spilling out of yourself that you can start making content like right now, right? So find that niche and find why that niche is important to you to start off with. But at the same time, I do advise that you should also set a time limit, right? How long and how much do you want to create before you say that, okay, this is not really working? The algorithm on TikTok will potentially get you discovered, but at the same time, it's all about making good content. So there's a good chance that, I haven't done it yet. I haven't found the secret sauce yet. The content that I create hasn't really become viral. I'm not a viral sensation. I'm not a creator. So it is a tough business. So it's important to kind of know when to kind of pivot to something else, right? So fail fast. But really find that niche. It's something that you have made your friends and your community engage for so many years. Do it. There's nothing to stop you from doing it. And as I mentioned, TikTok is believing in inspiring creativity and bringing joy. And generally, it makes it easy for you to create content right now. If you step out of the room, turn on TikTok, make a piece of content, there's nothing to stop you from doing that right now, right? But try and pivot to something else if it doesn't work out. Now, the second question, I think what's important about creativity, it comes in many different aspects, right? So what's creative in your self-expression, and we encourage it on TikTok, is very different from you or me or anyone. So believe in that, and I think that's important to just note that there is nothing that is not creative if you just try it, right? So try it.
So we've gone from the business side of things into the creative side of things, and we're just about to run out of time. But is TikTok a verb? Is there a verb to TikTok? I'm just gonna go TikTok. I'll be back after TikToking.
Yes. I don't think it's just a verb. I think it's a multi-purpose verb, and I like this because. And this is a real story. So I was in my house, and my partner was basically asking me, what are you doing? I said, I'm TikToking. And so that could mean various different things, right? So number one, at that point in time, I was actually just watching TikTok. But when she asked me what I'm doing yesterday, I was literally creating a TikTok. So it applies both ways. And if you ask me, or ask any person in the audience, right, what sort of content should you create? Just simply make a TikTok. And if I were to say this a year ago, no one will understand what the hell I'm talking about. But today, if I say make a TikTok, I think people generally have an idea. So it's a multi-purpose verb, if you ask me. So if I'm going to say, Jasper, what are you going to be doing next?
I'm going to, after handing over to Jim, I'm going to go TikTok.
Exactly. I'll join you.
So look, Wayne, thank you so much. Very, very quickly, you talked about being a canvas for creation, a lot about shoptainment. We talked about live streaming. The payment gateway and gathering is going to be really exciting. All different ways of getting paid. The thing about find your niche. A lot of people say do what you love, but set the time limit and be creative. And so, look, with that, thank you so much for everything. There's one thing you haven't done. What's your KPI, number 3?
TikTok's mission is to inspire creativity and to bring joy to our audiences. So thank you for having me. I hope I instilled some joy in some of you today. And if you don't, just remember my mission. I repeated that 3 times. Thank you for letting me keep my KPI.
Done. Wayne Waiko, thank you so much. Jim.